All right, Malcolm, take me through decision time for you. At what point in time did you even start thinking that maybe going pro, leaving a year early, was an option for you?
It all started coming after my sophomore year. You know, a lot of people were talking to me like you could have a chance to go pro, things go well, and I was like, okay, I listened to it, but I didn't really buy into the hype. I just knew I had to keep on playing and everything take care of itself. So we keep playing, and then game 3 of the season, USC come, I break my foot, and I'm like, well, I might not be able to go pro. Like, you know, I might have to be out for the rest of the season. I ended up coming back. I had a pretty good year. And then, like, after the game, after the Georgia game, sit down and talk to my dad, my mom, and them. And I just pretty much just asked the question. They say, do you want to go pro or do you want to come back another year? And sitting there talking to them, that's when, like, we really just made a decision. And I was like, I could break my foot again if I do go pro and not have a degree and pretty much be in the same predicament and not on the team or something like that and trying to get back to school. It was pretty much just me wanting to come back, get my education, make my mom proud, because I told her from the first day I was coming here, I wanted to graduate from here, and everything played out the way it was supposed to.
How close would you say you were to making that jump?
It was pretty 50-50, pretty 50-50. We sent in our draft grades. I got a pretty good grade back. It wasn't the highest grade, but it was something that I was still able to be happy about.
And I know there has to be chatter. You guys talk to each other. Someone like Charles Omenihu that did the same thing that you were going through a year ago, and it looks like it's going to pay out for him. What do you talk about when you approach Charles Omenihu in terms of your decision what to do?
Me and Charles had a lot of conversation when he decided to come back. Charles, somebody I'm playing with for 3 years now. When he chose to come back, I was like, I think you made a pretty good decision. And when he decided I was getting the hype pretty much around the same time that his hype started building up about either going pro or coming back, he talked to me and set me down and basically just had a conversation with me about his experience and how much it helped him coming back to school. And I was able to see firsthand how it paid off for him. So that was a good person that I was able to talk to about coming back to school.
So you're coming back to get your degree, to make an impact here for Texas football, but reality, to also improve your standing for the NFL draft in the next year. What are the things that you need to do to put yourself in the best position possible for that draft?
The thing I had to work, I'm great at getting pressure on the quarterback, but finishing plays on the quarterback. I can get pressure on him, make a throw he don't want to throw, get past the offensive line anywhere I want to, but just finishing the play on the quarterback, that's one thing I have to work on. Those dudes are like slippery snakes or something like that. Like, it's just hard to get a hold of them.
How receptive are your coaches to having these conversations in terms of what you need to do to help you personally? Because obviously their goal to win football games here at the University of Texas and put yourself in a good position. But how receptive are they to what you need personally?
Coach McKnight is one person I had to say is the biggest person that played a part in that. He came and called me into his office, talking to me like a man, and he basically just told me, it's your decision. And he told me what the scouts were telling him and what was going on, and he told me the truth. And I listened to him, and I think everything will pay out the way it's supposed to.
So the talk right now, Texas is going to be in store to make a run if the defense, specifically the defensive line, can reload. And right now, the perception is that's the question mark with this team going into next season. What's your reaction to that?
People say it's a question mark, but I mean, in the locker room, we're not looking at it as a question mark because you really could look at our position as the most experienced position that we have on the defense, to be honest. We have a guy, Jared Wilborn, he's been playing since his freshman year. He was a true freshman. Taquan Graham, I think he played like half of defensive reps last year on the D-line. And me, I've been playing since my freshman year, so we're one of the most experienced positions up front. We also have young guys like Keandre Coburn. He played a lot of games last year for us. You could look at the position and it's a question mark behind it, but we don't believe that. We believe we're one of the most experienced groups and the biggest leaders out there on the team.
What are you going to do without Nelson's belly, though?
Oh, man.
How do you replace that?
We got somebody up front with a bigger belly than his.
Really?
Jared Wilborn, like.
Does he rub it, though?
Does he rub it? We got to rub it for him. And we going to continue that legacy.
Is he okay with that?
He better be okay with it, for real, because we going to continue that legacy. I like the way Chris did that, because the person up front, you know, he's the big man. He's a big man on defense, so, you know, rubbing his stomach like that, showing that he's eating and having fun, and letting everybody else rub on it you know, just having fun. Like, so you want to see him make a play so you can go up to him and, you know, rub on his stomach and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we had a fun time, and that's something we want to continue here.
We came home and got the job, and you can't tell us what can't be done. You can't tell us what can't be done, where we came from in 2 years, bro.
So we documented your path leading up to the Sugar Bowl, the significance of that game for you and your family growing up in Louisiana. What did it mean once it was all said and done to know that you got the win in your home state in front of your family and your friends?
It was great getting that win, and the way we did it, we talk about the way we played, the score didn't dictate the way we really played on the field, because it was some bone-crushing blows out there being delivered from the defense. And the way we did it, this group, I always like to say the 2016 group and the 2015 group, those classes have been together. Like, we always been like neck and neck, yin and yang. Ever since day one, we stepped on campus, they was the class that always looked after us. And the way we did it, sending that class out the way we did, we were just happy to do it, and we would like to go out the same way.
Do you feel like you see the game in a different way because of your background, specifically with your father being a coach?
Yeah, growing up, I've been around football my whole life, so I can remember sitting in coaches' meetings at the age of 7 years old, listening to people like Doug Williams talk, because my dad coached with him at Grambling. Me being 7 years old, I didn't know too much that he was talking about, but now that I look back on it, like, I was learning football without even knowing I was learning football. Just listening to things, schemes and all, terminology, stuff like that. That makes me see the game in a different way. I'm able to see plays before they about to happen, make me watch film different. So it just helped me out when I strategize what kind of moves I want to work on this player, what kind of team this is. Okay, it's 3rd and 1, what kind of plays they like to run in this situation. So like just my IQ from learning the game of football at such a young age has really helped me out.
Well, you mentioned Doug Williams.
I call him Uncle Doug.
So you call him Uncle Doug?
Yeah, Uncle Doug.
So pretty tight.
Oh yeah, very tight.
What has he meant to you?
He's just somebody growing up, just being in that presence and growing up around him. I was about 3rd grade, I think. And I said, I need somebody to do a project on Black history. And everybody's doing like Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, people like that. And my mom was like, well, how about you do it on your Uncle Doug? And I'm like, my Uncle Doug, like what he did? And my mama told me, and I was like, really? He was really the first African-American to win a Super Bowl, starting as a quarterback. Because, you know, I'm just looking at other quarterbacks like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, people like that, you know. That's natural for, you know, African-Americans to play quarterback now, but he was the one that, like, started that off, and he was able, like, to be a pioneer of that position for people of my skin tone.
So he left a legacy. You have an opportunity to do that now into your senior year. What do you want us saying about Malcolm Roach when it's all said and done and the impact that you made?
I just want to be one of the best leaders to come through here. I had a lot of people that showed me how to lead since I've been a young kid. A lot of people since I stepped foot on this campus that showed me how to lead. My best friends were captains here, Poona Ford and Chris Nelson. And they showed me so much just being a leader. Me personally, I want to get a lot of sacks, a lot of pressures on the quarterback, a lot of tackles for loss, and just be dominant night in and night out.